what we say, what we think, and what we do has consequences for how we end up in our next lifetime. If you are at least 51% oriented towards the positive polarity of oneness, the path of light, you are then moving one step forward in your evolutionary process. You see, the highest state, the highest possibility that we will all eventually reach is known as mukti, liberation. It is liberation from the physical existence. Or you can call it nirvana. There are many different names for it. You can also call it salvation. You see, our soul, when our soul takes on a physical body, that's when we experience suffering, because our soul, the nature of our soul is bliss. Our soul is naturally blissful, but it is only affected by, we only experience suffering when our soul takes on a physical body. And as we take on these physical bodies, we are essentially gaining experience. We are evolving. We are experiencing this existence to make us stronger, to allow us to evolve, to gain more experience, to become more wise, more intelligent, more compassionate, and so on. And eventually, it'll come to a point where our soul can no longer hold the physical body, and we reach liberation. We reach that state that the Buddha has reached. We reach the nirvanic state, and we no longer suffer physical existence. We know suffering then ends completely. And our soul is supposed to keep on moving towards that. So each cycle of reincarnation that we have should allow us to move towards that state. Some who are more advanced will make quantum leaps. They will get there much faster. However, every single person should at least have a spiritual element in them that allows them to move one step forward towards this. A society that is based off of the spiritual evolution of humanity, they would ensure that even the most common person will have a spiritual element to them, so the soul doesn't digress. Because if one remains ignorant and doesn't choose to evolve, they will be stuck in reincarnation cycles again and again and again until they allow themselves to, until they're willing to experience something more. You see, when you're trapped in that ignorance, you'll be trapped in this, you'll be experiencing a lot more suffering than you necessarily need to experience. See, a lot of people on this earth, they're suffering a lack of knowledge. They're suffering their ignorance. And until they're aware of their ignorance, they may be trapped in that loop for a very long time. So people have to be able to grow wise. And when you become more wise, you can then move towards higher state of existences. There are existences in our creation. There are existences that are harmonious, very beautiful, beyond anything that you can ever imagine. And we will keep on moving towards these existences until we reach that higher state. You see, on this earth, we may not, it's hard to believe that there are states of existence that are very beautiful, that are beyond anything that we could imagine, because we're so used to this suffering that's here on this earth. But we're supposed to experience this suffering and transcend it through wisdom and compassion, because that allows our soul to evolve. And the difficulties on this earth provide the perfect opportunity to make fast spiritual progress. That's why our souls are reincarnated here on this earth at this specific time, because it's a very difficult place to live. It's very difficult to live here on earth, and there's a lot of suffering. But this allows us to grow if we are wise. If we don't remain ignorant and we choose to grow, the experiences here on earth will allow us to make very fast spiritual progress. And some souls who are very advanced, they get to choose their reincarnation cycle because we are essentially co-creators. And a soul that's highly advanced, they get to choose where they go in the next lifetime. That allows them the perfect opportunity to move towards enlightenment. So know that what you think, what you say, and what you do has consequences for your next lifetime. Okay? Peace.